Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Justice's Journey. Real quick, sorry about the lighting. It gets better throughout the video. So today, I literally just discovered I knew I was a people pleaser and I knew I seeked validation. I knew these things about myself, but I didn't know the actual term for it. Mind you, I'm in therapy. I didn't know the word for it. Like, I knew that I was too hard on myself. I knew I was a fixer, but I didn't know the term for it was codependency. I didn't know that. And I came across a video earlier when I was at work. I was watching YouTube and someone is talking about codependency and going off the list of like, if you do this, you're codependent. And I always saw myself as someone who was very independent, but now I'm like, wait, why is half of this list me? So I'm going to read you what it said. I went to ChatGPT and I'm like, listen, explain this. I said, how do you know if you're someone with codependency problems? And the response was, codependency typically refers to a pattern of behavior where someone excessively relies on another person for approval, self-worth, or identity. Here are some signs that you might struggle with codependency. Number 1, difficulty setting boundaries. That's me 100%. You often feel guilty or anxious when saying no to others. All the time. I feel guilty when my friends have something and I can't come, or I feel guilty telling people no. I feel guilty when my siblings ask for something and I say no. When anybody asks me for something and the answer is no, I get so anxious thinking about how am I going to tell them no? Are they going to be mad at me when I tell them no? Does that make me a bad person for saying no? Does that make me a bad friend? And so most of the time I just won't say no. If I don't want to do something, but somebody asks me to do it, I say yes. If just the simplest things people ask me for, when in my heart I don't want to do it and I don't want to go, I have a problem saying no. You prioritize others' needs over your own, even to your detriment. That's me. At whatever cost, whether it's me being uncomfortable, my husband being uncomfortable, whenever someone needs something from me, I always prioritize their needs over my own. If people are feeling some type of way, like I'm uncomfortable with people being uncomfortable. Number 2, over involvement in others' problems. Like I said, I'm uncomfortable with people being uncomfortable. You feel responsible for solving other people's issues. Anybody, whenever someone I know has an issue, I'm thinking in my head, how can I fix it? I'm praying for them. I'm worried about it. You neglect your own needs to fix others or ensure their happiness. Yes, I've always been a fixer. Find friends to try to fix, find people to try to fix. At the sake of I'm more worried about how to get you to your purpose, how to get you to pursue your calling, how to help you become who you're supposed to be, that I'll neglect who I'm supposed to be. Number 3, fear of abandonment or rejection. You go to great lengths to avoid conflict. My therapist and I talk about this all the time. Fearing it might cause someone to leave you. You stay in unhealthy relationships because you're afraid of being alone. Like, I was in a 5-year relationship that was just very toxic and abusive in different ways. Was it because I was afraid of being alone? It definitely was the fear of rejection and abandonment from my childhood and things like that, which I knew after the fact, but I don't know if I'm still struggling with that. I definitely avoid conflict. I don't like fighting. I don't like tension. I don't like wishy-washy. I don't like tiptoey friendships. I don't like conflict relationships. I don't like being at odds with people. I don't like that. Like, I hate when me and my husband fight. It's just not comfortable for me. I don't like when people are having a bad day and their attitude is bad. Like, I'm just not one of those people. Low self-esteem. Me and my therapist have been talking about this. Like, I need to see myself the way that God sees me and not worry about how other people see me. Your sense worth is tied to how much you can do for others. That's me. It's like ChatGPT is all in my therapy sessions. Yes. It's like I'm a doer, because the more I do, the more valued I feel, the more important I feel, the more worth it I feel, the more worthy I feel based on how much I've done for people. So then it's like, now you're doing all these things for family, friends, whoever, to try and feel valued, to boost your self-esteem, or for others to see you as useful, for others to see you as important. My camera is about to die. You often feel inadequate or unworthy unless you're helping someone else. Yes, I need to be needed. Number 5, you feel uncomfortable or anxious when you can't influence outcomes in others' lives. That just screams manipulative. I'm not going to take that on. I am controlling, and I do like to control other people's lives, preferably my husband. But you feel uncomfortable or anxious when you can't influence outcomes in others' lives? I guess so. Like when I'm trying to persuade somebody to be something, do something, and they won't do it, I could see how I get uncomfortable or anxious. You have trouble trusting others to manage their responsibilities. Yes. I don't know why I feel like I can see everybody else's problems and I know the solution and I can see it clear as day. And I want you to fulfill your assignment, them, not me, obviously me, but like them. And I want to control people and I want them to reach their full potential. I'm doing it out of love. All of this is out of love. People pleasing, all of that, it's all out of love. The control, it's out of love, but that doesn't make it right. Number 6, difficult recognizing or expressing emotions. Okay, that's why I'm in therapy. You may struggle to identify your feelings, focusing instead on others' emotions. Okay. You suppress your own emotional needs to maintain peace. Yes. Like I said, I don't like confrontation. So there's a lot of times like I just won't say anything. I'll be uncomfortable. I will just suffer for the sake of maintaining peace. I will push stuff back to the back burner or hold it in or, not say anything just for the sake of peace. Number 7, tendency to stay in dysfunctional relationships. You might tolerate disrespect, abuse, or neglect because you feel obligated to save the other person. Yes, I can say that from experience in previous relationships that I would stay and be mistreated and be abused and be cheated on and be all the things because I'm like, this person doesn't know what they're doing. This person, they need saving. And I can see that too in so many people that I know, like some of my siblings, different people where we just have like this, like, let me save you complex. Let me save them. Oh, this person is wounded and neglected. Let me go and be their savior. Like, girl, you're not Jesus. You fear letting go when the relationship is unhealthy. I think that pertains a lot to friendships, to relationships, to connections, to partnerships, to all of these things, because I can definitely see that. But it's so weird because when I was younger, I didn't care who you were. I would cut you off. Not romantic though. Like, I think with romance, I've always stayed too long. But friendship wise, any other relationship, I didn't care who you were, I would cut you off. But now that I'm older, I guess it's gotten worse because I will stay friends with people even though we've outgrown the friendship. Until there's a conflict, I'll stay friends. And it's not right. Here's 3 reflection questions. If you're unsure whether you have codependent tendencies, ask yourself, and I took these and God, do I feel responsible for other people's happiness or problems? Yes. Am I constantly seeking validation from others? Sadly, yes. Do I neglect my needs or identity to keep others close? Yes. I literally was talking to my therapist about this in my last therapy session, how I will limit myself or compromise my identity, compromise who I am, compromise who God is calling me, who God is calling me to be, where He's trying to take me for the sake of wanting to fit in, wanting to keep others close, wanting to be friends with people. I will limit or dummy myself down, or, not fully pursue my calling, not fully walk in my identity, not be willing to be set apart because I want to remain friends with certain people. And that's just not the wise thing to do. And then so, okay, well, how do you fix it? One, it says addressing codependency often involves learning healthy boundaries. I've been looking into this because I don't know how to set boundaries. I don't know how to say no. And Jesus wasn't like that. Jesus had no problem saying no. Jesus didn't mind saying no. Jesus didn't mind doing the hard things. So learning how to set boundaries and sticking to your boundaries. I heard someone say the only people who have problem with healthy boundaries is unhealthy people, people you don't need in your life. The other way is building self-esteem, which I'm working on. I am trying to see myself as God sees me and not compare myself to who I used to be, not comparing myself to who I know I could be, but being okay, loving myself, who I am in this very moment. The third one is fostering independence in relationships. So basically like getting hobbies, having connections outside of your immediate people, having friends or companionship, community outside of your spouse, outside of the people you see every day. And I don't have that. And I'm trying to do that. So it's just crazy that all of these things that I'm trying to build towards or work towards are the very things that you need to do to break codependency. And I didn't know until today that that was the actual term for a lot of my issues, is that I'm codependent. And my prayer is going to be and is, God, help me to only be dependent on you, not to depend on validation from others, not to depend on relationships from others, not to seek things from others, but to be rooted and grounded and dependent fully on you. And the funny thing is, the hoodie I wore today says God dependent. And this is literally where I'm trying to get at, because I don't want to be codependent. So if you're codependent, if you're a people pleaser, if you're seeking validation, if you have low self-esteem, if you have abandonment, rejection, all any of those things, I pray that you get the help that you need and you get a therapist. I have a therapy session on Friday and I'm going to tell her all about this. Me and my therapist haven't talked about this yet, but I'll do another video and see what she says. Love you. Bye. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Help a people pleaser out. Help me. Leave a comment, subscribe, share it. Love you.